Hey, darling. Sorry, what was your name again?
It's Hannah Alexandra Harris, but I go by Layla.
Layla.
Have been for about 7 to 9 years now. As a working girl slash escort.
Tell me about your childhood. You grew up where?
I grew up we grew up a little bit everywhere in Southern California. Inland, outskirts, by the beach. I was really mostly home alone with my brother, or we were at school. And if we weren't at school, we were home alone. My mom was not around. We didn't have dad. He had a dad, but he was, further away. We didn't see him, so we were mostly just my brother and I, just kind of kicking it and growing up with each other, taking care of one another.
How would you describe your childhood in general?
It was really shitty. But it was great when him and I were together. We were best friends, so we kept each other afloat. I learned a lot from him by having to buckle up, and take responsibility.
Any abuse in your childhood?
A lot of mental abuse, emotional abuse. There's been some physical abuse here and there, but yes, there's abuse in my family. There's abuse in my life for sure. But I got through it.
You graduated high school?
I almost graduated high school. I ended up having to drop out in 11th grade to take care of my brothers / children. I did go back and go to adult school to get my GED, and I did pass and did get my GED at the age of 19. So, I dropped out of 11th grade when I was 17, and then when I was GED when I was 19.
So today you're here on Skid Row. You're working the street.
Skid Row, right? After I got my GED, I got my CNA certificate, license, whatever you want to say, whatever, and I went straight to work. I went to school and I went straight to work. So I've always been really busy. I've always been a very busy little bee. And so.
How old are you?
I'm 32. October 15th, 1989. I'll say that.
Drugs became in the picture somewhere?
Okay, so my mother was never home. She was an adult, industry, so to speak, trying to work her way up in there, So and we knew it, but we didn't, whatever. So she would come home and she'd be real, all sloth and fucked up and shit.
She was doing what for a living?
But she was just trying to live. She was trying to stay alive. I look back on it now. She's trying to stay alive. She was all fucked up. She wanted to be fucked up. She was shit. She was fucked up because she had to be fucked up because she was trying to live. I see things in two different ways.
What was your mom doing for work?
She was a stripper, and then she had an escort business, and then she worked out of home. It was an apartment, and we had a home in Mount Helix or something like that, and a really big, beautiful home. And she got engaged, and she had her own office in there, glass doors and everything. It was really cool, bitchin'. And she would come. She was still stripping too. She was doing all of it. She was doing the whole nine. It was really cool. She'd come home with bags of money. It was cool to see her, rise, because we grew up poor. We were real poor, so poor we couldn't afford the and so it was cool to see that. That it didn't last long. Every summer I go to my grandmother's, my brother would go to his dad's, and she would be alone, and do her own thing, and I would be with my grandmother, and my brother would be with his dad. And my brother and his dad, they quick jumped, and he was around alcohol and drugs more than I was at the time. I was around my grandmother, who's very preserved, proper, very, just like queen, so to speak. Very, very clean, very perfect, and just wanted to see me just be, great and everything I did. And I wanted to do that for her too. And I was trying. I was doing really good at trying and doing it. But she died. And when she died, I took the bitch, so to speak. And I started drinking a lot and doing a lot of things I wouldn't usually do. Because before, I would just smoke a little bit of weed, maybe. And I was just hang out with my friends, drink coffee. Everyone did everything they wanted to do. I didn't do nothing. I was just a square. But I kicked it with everyone who did everything, And then she passed away, and I started experimenting with a lot of things. I did everything under the sun except for acid. I didn't want to do acid because I couldn't control it. I like to control things. I like to control anything I put in my body. So I got real into alcohol though. I became kind of a functional alcoholic, so to speak. I would go to work, couldn't get off work, drink, fall asleep, wake up, eat a little bit, go to work, drink. You know, it just became a repetitive thing. So becoming a functional alcoholic actually, and I got into some trouble. I was blacking out from it, and I was driving. One day, I blacked out and I hit something. And I don't know what I hit. So I just remember it just flash, just like, something happened. I don't know. It felt like the light switch turned off, and then turned back on. And I remember like seeing a semi and going over like this, and like what the fuck is going on? Going the wrong side of the road, and then turned off again. And I was in the car, and I was driving to my house where I shared it was paying for the room we lived. And I grabbed 2 beers, and I go to my baby daddy's, who was my baby daddy at the time, who just someone I was seeing. And I knocked on the door, and he came to the door. It took him forever, and my face was fucked up because I just got into a car accident. I know my face was fucked up, I could feel the burn, but I was like, let's pound some beers and fuck, the door he was answering, and then he finally answered. When he answered, he came to the door, and he came to the door, and it's a quilt. He came to the door and a quilt, like as if he was a king or something. It was the weirdest thing ever, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, what the fuck do you? Totally alert, but totally incoherent at the same time. And he's like, what the heck happened? I was like, the car crashed. And so I'm like, what? He's like, get inside. And I got inside, and I got inside. And he went outside. He see your face, what the fuck? He was like, what the, just like that, what the fuck? He's all, get in the and he went and he hit the car. He went and took the car and hit it. Because, there's pieces and shit. My phone flew out. It was only a piece of my phone. The whole fender was just,
What did you hit?
I don't know what I hit. I think I hit a semi, or a semi hit me, or I hit something white, or something hit me. And I'm really thinking something hit me, but
But you never found out.
I never found out.
You didn't kill anybody.
I didn't kill anybody. There's been some weird stuff with that whole scenario, that whole situation, because he ended up hiding the car, and they were gonna go toss it and strip it and all kinds of stuff. I was like, no, I'll just sell it to Pick and Pull and get $240 for it. Fuck it. Someone will want it. They can pull the pieces out for it or whatever. So that's what we did instead. But so I got rid of it. It was a red Honda DX, and what was weird about when I got the car, originally I paid for, I had an Audi, and my shifting went out, my stick shifts. I had a death wish one night. I was trying to drink and driving a lot, right? I was doing bad things. And I stopped myself, and I punished myself and consequently myself and everything. But anyways, the clutch went out, and when the clutch went out, I had to sell it because I was already putting too much money into it. I was like, fuck this shit. More money put into this shit, like, fuck this shit. So I ended up selling that, getting the money from that, and getting this red Honda. Well, as soon as I started buying cars, I noticed the cars I was buying were always something wrong with them as soon as I got them. This red Honda, the brakes would slip. So I'd be at a light, and I had my brakes on, but it was such a slip. I'd have to pump my brake just to stay still, or else I would start to go during a red light. Or as if my brakes were to be cut and slipped and I was gonna die. Like someone was trying to kill me, is what it was feeling like. And so every car I got, something was going on, and it like as if I had like a little like balloon underneath my car, trying to like, it was literally kill me. And it was the craziest thing. So I had to stop driving for a while because I was drinking and driving, and that was happening, and so on and so forth. So my baby daddy he ended up being my baby daddy. We ended up having kids, and I got my nipples pierced. I got fucked up, blacked out, got my nipples pierced, and then I ended up at his house again. And then he's like, "Fuck this shit," put a baby in me, and I took the nipple piercings out like a month later because I found I was pregnant, and boom, we made a family. And then that was a really dark relationship too. Went through a lot of stuff, and that's when the drugs came into play mostly.
So you eventually went to harder drugs?
Yeah.
Different drugs than alcohol? What are your drugs today?
I don't do drugs. I'm kidding. I do fentanyl and I do Cavi.
Those are drugs.
Those are drugs today to everyone's knowledge. Yes, they are. But if I were to say it in any way, if I can say it anyway, I think the only kind of drug that really is in this world is methamphetamine. I've learned that methamphetamine is a man-made drug. And it's probably one of the most dangerous drugs I've come across because I've done it one time and it was Puda, it was the real stuff, and it made me feel like Superman. I felt like I could lift a car, and I didn't want to do nothing else but smoke that and fuck and lift cars and steal I wanted to do all of that because I wanted to get away with it. It felt like no one could catch me, you know. And I did it for 3 days, and 2 or 3 days, and in those 2 or 3 days, I was like, we gotta get some more. And then my baby daddy was like, take a pipe, go out, do that, crush it, then we're gonna do this again. We never did it again, but I know he did. I know he did. I was doing other things, but
You have kids?
Mm-hmm. Him and I, we had kids. We had a beautiful, beautiful, 2 beautiful baby boys.
So I'm sorry. How many children do you have?
I don't know, to be honest. But to my knowledge, I have 2 baby boys. But I was also a surrogate mother. I got some discharge papers from the hospital, and like I was a surrogate mother, and I've been making money this whole time with some other stuff. And I learned I was terminally ill, a cancer patient, and I was also helping the Cancer Society. But I'm also dying really badly, and there's nothing that could help me. And basically, everyone was out to my life because I ended up getting a lot of money. I have money. I have a lot of money, and I don't have anybody that can help me with it. So
you owe a lot of money?
No, I have a lot.
You have a lot of money.
I have a lot of money. The state keeps on sending the same check over and over.
So you have a lot of money, but you're here on Skid Row working the streets?
I'm trying to find somebody I can trust. Because I haven't found anybody I can trust any other way. No suburban way, no regular way, no community, no where else. I'm just trying different ways. And I'm also going through it. I'm going through a lot of things. I'm in a relationship, an open relationship, and some stuff went down with us.
Where are you staying now?
Right now, I could be staying anywhere. I could be staying in Hollywood in my apartment. I have an apartment in Hollywood. My own apartment. But a lot of stuff went down there. Someone's trying to kill me. Seriously, I'm not joking. I wish it was a joke. I wish at the end of all this we'd be like, we got you. But there's some serious stuff going on in my life and I don't know what to do about it.
But why do you think someone's trying to kill you?
Because I can feel it. And I've seen it. I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see what's killing me. And I can see them. And they're people. They don't have a clue of what they're doing. They're just doing things by what someone else says, you know. So they're doing things that people they can't see. So it has to be some kind of blind community or deaf community or something weird. I don't know. But I'm also an arbitrary instructor. By the way, I did that when I've been doing that for a long time.
You're what?
Arbitrary instructor.
What is an arbitrary instructor?
It has a lot with decoding and learning what was really read in between the lines of all paperwork, and we're all given, you know, our birth certificates and our social securities and our names and everything, and we just go, oh, this is our stuff, you know. We don't research it or anything, you know what I mean? Like, we don't get to know who we are, but we're so much more. All of us are all important, and we have many other things that we do in our lives that we don't have to be all in Skid Row. The Skid Row doesn't have to be Skid Row like this. It really doesn't. You know, is what I'm saying. There's 3 things to anything that resolves everything in anyone's life. Seriously.
What's your biggest regret in your life?
Leaving. Always leaving.
Leaving your children?
Never left my children. I've never left my children. My children and I were ripped apart by society in broadcasting things and stuff. I have a lot of dark in my life. I'm trying to give you the dark, happy version. I'm trying to...
What's the hardest thing for you to deal with or look at?
Pictures. Yeah. I'm afraid of looking at pictures on someone. I haven't seen my kids in 9 years. Not because I'm a bad mom, but because we were more endangering together as a family to the community. But the community was more endangering to us as a family and individually. So they had the upper hand on us, but we tried to save them first before us. And we were still separated. And we still haven't seen each other. You know,
What's your biggest fear now?
people. Probably like someone said, not every stranger is danger. So I had an optimistic view of people.
So you work in the street, you're meeting some of
I'm a realist.
some of the most dangerous people out there, probably.
I'm a realist. I'm with the shit, the poo, the do, all of it. I got it on I know it. To the top, to the middle, to the bottom. I know all of what people are. And no one can look me in the eye and tell me something that I don't know anymore. And I guess I earned that, and I didn't know that somebody can earn something like that. And it's not something that anybody can really be earned unless you are trying to be neutral life, and someone recognizes that, I guess. But I give people benefit of the doubt still to this day. I can know anything I want to nothing, but instead, I give them benefit of the doubt, and I get to know them before I want to dig up anything. If I want to dig up anything, and I don't dig for anything. I don't dig for nothing, ever. And I never will. No, I never will.
Layla, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Having children, and nothing else with everything. It's not cherry on top of everything. It's encouragement. It's crazy.
Did you raise your kids?
For 5 years I did, and then we were apart. Illegally, legally, with a lot of love from the authority. And they're my most raised eyebrow now is the authority, you know. I have a really crazy life. That's nothing, you know. It's nothing, but it's, you know, it's something. There's so much more. So much more.
What are you not telling me?
Because it's going to go on forever. There's so many things, there's so many, like, if I told you, that's only half of it, a sliver, you know? I came from Vegas, and so much happened in Vegas, and I was alone in Vegas, you know? Now it's just me, there's no one, just me, myself, and I. No kids, no boyfriend, no baby daddy, no nothing, just me working the streets in the snow, the rain, the cold, everything by myself in a trench coat. I mean, like, doing the damn thing, and, you know, working. I mean, I worked through Oakland even. I mean, I was just doing it, you know? It was crazy, but I was putting myself in a really dangerous situation. But I was being taken care of also by an angel or something, because I should have died so many times.
What's been your darkest point of your life?
Love at first sight. Mm-hmm. Love at first sight. Darkest.
Your situation now seems pretty bleak. All right. Layla, thank you very much for sharing some of your story.
Sorry.
Be careful out there.